clarity,
creativity.
I'm really into it.
It's like a wow.
Incredible teaching.
Truly amazing.
It is tremendous. Powerful.
Effective.
Practical.
Enlivening.
Interesting and very fun.
It's really cool.
Very straightforward, very clear.
It is so genius.
Alive, like a fountain.
Very positive.
We receive a lot of knowledge.
On so many levels.
I learned a lot.
One of the best experiences that I've had so far.
Clarity to my medical understanding.
That made me grow a better musician.
Moved my skills forward.
He's figured out not only what he does, but how to teach it.
In this day and age, people have different time frames of when they can study, how they can study, and I saw that it's very useful that I can make modules, that I could do something that was in different modules that people could choose. I want to start learning about group lessons with adults. I want to start working with children. No, I want to see how to do functional therapeutic work with adults.
Anywhere that you enter into that 3-year cycle, it all cycles back. So if you start, don't do first year, but do second or third, and then you do the first year later, it all comes together to really help you understand.
So the idea was to take a 40-day program, start people from the beginning with all the fundamentals of movement, how movement elements connect to one another. What would you clarify here? Right. And then when they go farther backwards, does the pelvis move in relation to this part of the spine? You have many relationships. So we want to look at, in any position, we'll continue to do this and look at sequences and patterns. Now when we look here, yes, the thoracic spine has a rotation. So people could see how one movement connects to each other. Very, very structured to see why does one movement have something to do with another. You see, fits in with the position here. If I'd go forward, look, see, it all goes together. Yes? Extended in the back. The belly is open here. Can you start to see different full patterns of how people lie? What sort of the basic sequences or a pattern is? How can you vary it to create certain kinds of change? And then how do you string it together with other types of movements to create larger sequences that you would call a lesson?
Now the elements, he explains the elements of the movements and the combinations.
It has a very clear, systematic way of passing on the knowledge and making us understand it in our bodies.
You really get that ability to understand the movement, you get that clarity.
Remember there was one part of the ATM when I said pull the knee up? Now you see, to do for this for her, that's a component that would help her to do this movement of the head forward.
It starts quite early that you understand how to create lessons by yourself.
It's been a revelation really for me in terms of his style of teaching.
Can you see what changes? That's a very big difference. And look, now what's missing now? You see,
training in the ability to think and to observe, not just sense and feel. I really enjoyed from the very beginning this clarity and ability to think and also to create lessons.
What's missing for the person to do that? Have the flexion really here, she has the side bending, but look, if I just...
kind of quite systematic approach in how he teaches, but there's still space for creativity and individual interpretation of what he is doing.
But if you understand the fundamental structures of movement and what creates change, you can teach ways to develop lessons yourself. And now I want to see, can I clarify this movement from all different places, from this part of your spine, this part of your spine, there, there.
He's very clear in how he takes a functional movement, breaks it apart so that it makes a change in your
side.
body, and then all of a sudden the
feel?
function is better.
And this side. Can you feel that this is a little bit clearer?
Yes, much easier.
Much easier.
Freedom to kind of choose different things and put them together for my clients, for myself, or when I teach. And it just becomes much more interesting and exciting.
But you can see, look what she does. What do you see her doing? Pushing the pelvis forward and come upright. He lifts himself up.
With the children's learning, it's a year-long program to learn how to work with atypically developing children. It works with the information in the other 2 years, but you can do it separately.
But make sure you move. That's right.
He has you do the movements so that you understand, and then you watch.
But the arm goes back as well. First have your own personal experience. Then you start to do very much observation in terms of moving children and applications to special needs children. Pushes back and watch. Takes a great step. And then as she came forward, she actually took the pelvis, took a step.
This little incremental variation, movement, which are always looking, you know, from the ability side.
That's great. And then you're working with children and you're touching a whole body, a moving body, in a very active and a dynamic way. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, and you can come and then that's
JKA,
so
it showed us how much potential is there and how much can really emerge and how much can develop.
This is Nadja. Dein Mama ist da.
This is a whole mental process. It is physical what is changing, it is emotional what is changing, it is social what is also changing, the interaction, because you're not afraid going, you know, into the world, and you just take your child and you go.
Jeremy Krauss has created a training that anyone can do.
I have a physiotherapy and a clinic.
Professional musician.
I'm from the theater.
I'm an orthopedic surgeon.
Dancer and also a drummer.
Electronic engineer.
A physical therapist.
Anesthesiologist.
Mother of a special needs child.
I established the JKA Teachers Association in Korea. Yeah, so we gathered to study together.
So everyone came from different levels of experience.
Being in the training with people of all different backgrounds, learning all alongside of everyone else, it feels super easygoing. We're all learning together, and I find everyone to be excellent. And even now in the third year, people's touch who are even very new, this is their first time doing this, they're really having a clarity in that, in the directions and in the thinking.
When people come to working with adults in a therapeutic functional way, hands-on, it becomes much easier because they have a lot of experience of having to move together with another human being, small. It became really very simple when I started what's called Module 3 functional hands-on, that people were very easily and comfortable able to interact with another person, an adult, lying on the table. They had a great sensitivity to different types of movements that they were doing. My expectation when I started it was to see what would happen when people came from different professions, how it would either flow together or how they could take the different modules and use it for their own needs.
I've been practicing and I've been using Jeremy's method, and that can be incorporated into a lot of movement and also into a lot of rehabilitation, because once you have the knowledge, you can always apply it.
We need to be able to bring the patient back to their lives, and in some ways that needs to be a multidisciplinary effort, and his work is that next step that we need to bring people back to their lives. So
excellent tool to be incorporated into whatever that you have learned.
We find that we're beginning to see the way he does, and it's not just magic. though it is a little bit of magic. But you know, it's something that can be taught, and he's figured out how to teach it.
Okay. Have you noticed that somehow while you're doing it thereafter, it changes your mental state? What does that mean?
This training is very helpful. We receive a lot of knowledge. We practice a lot with our colleagues, the different countries. We have a wonderful staff to support us during the session. We have Jeremy, amazing teacher that very anticipate your needs, your question, explain, repeat. We have a lot of resources to watch videos in the morning.
We come back in the morning and then we review the things that we have done yesterday, and I think that was the best thing.
To check again, what is the position, what is the objective of the movement. We have a lot of information, knowledge at the moment.
Now the Jeremy Krauss Approach is available. It's available for people to learn. People from all over the world come to study with him.
It's a great feeling to see that people are leaving not just feeling wonderful about being in a group, but feeling that they've acquired a toolkit, specific skills, and they're able to either continue furthering the profession they had, adding on with the JKA, or starting completely with JKA.
It's all about movement, but then it goes deeper into our human potential areas.
Through movement, in touch with life.
You learn, you develop, and then you grow.